Gaming is an industry unto its own. What seemingly started as just an overweight Italian plumber squishing mushrooms has evolved into, well, a business. Year after year, investors are pushing the next biggest release in a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Games are more than just games. They're a service now, with battle passes, subscriptions, microtransactions, etc. You know this, I know this. Gaming is the biggest that it has ever been, and with the cost of game development only increasing by the year, it's a wonder just what some developers will do to break even. It feels like the simple days of couch co-op, games complete out of the box, and experiences with unique and inspired ideas are just a thing of the past. Things may never be the same. But that's not what gaming has to be. Despite what Twitter may say, games are alive and thriving, with dozens, literally dozens of ideas and unique concepts fully realized, with the only microtransaction being the game's soundtrack. And trust me, you want that soundtrack, you dirty little whore. Now, when I'm not getting absolutely raffle-stomped in the most popular competitive games nowadays, I find myself looking to indie titles that seek to fill the niche of games that have never seen a sequel or remake. I don't think I'm ever going to see the light of day when a new Godzilla arena brawler is made, but we'll get to you, sweet cheeks, don't you worry. So you're getting tired of AAA games? Well, me too. Why don't we talk about the little guys for a second? These are 10 games in no particular order that I think you need to be paying attention to. And trust me, they're more than meets the eye, especially in the indie game scene. My name is All Night, and these days, indie games are just getting it right. You like Doom? You want more Doom per Doom? You ever wonder if money can be an even more dangerous weapon literally than metaphorically? Ultra Kill is an enigma, because after Doom Eternal, it felt like the boomer shooter, I hate that name by the way, blew up exponentially. With would-be imitators climbing out of the woodwork to show you the next low-poly pixelated shooter with no sprint button, few of these actually captured the fluidity and fun of the movement of modern Doom games. Except Ultra Kill. Yeah, Ultra Kill fucking gets it, dude. Want some Doom levels of blood and gore with Titanfall movement tech and a Devil May fucking Cry style mechanic? Hell the fuck yes!
I am the storm that is approaching.
The game's still in early access, and much like many of the games on the list, is a friggin' bargain. You even have a demo you can download so you can try before you buy. I know I've played it on repeat, like, a lot. I'm still garbage, but I like it. Take a drink of water every time I talk about a pixelated side-scroller in today's episode, and I guarantee you will be hydrated as fuck! Gravity Circuit goes down the lines of a Mega Man-like in its art style and mechanics. Though it also squeezes a wee bit of Bionic Commando with some grappling hook mechanics all up in there as well. Now, as opposed to Mega Man, where you have any sort of long-ranged weaponry, your robot samurai dude only has melee attacks. You actually have the ability to customize a bunch of karate moves that he has, and you can just deal some crazy damage and some wild moves up close. Kind of like a Street Fighter meets Mega Man. Look, Capcom ain't touching a new Mega Man anytime soon. And they sure as hell ain't touching Bionic Commando with a 49.5-foot pole, so I'd give this one a chance while you still can. This one also has a demo on Steam, so I'd recommend it. It's pretty fun and supposedly dropping in the second quarter of this year. Oh boy, these two come close to my heart for sure. I'm a massive Godzilla fan. Kaiju, tokusatsu, giant angry monsters causing mayhem in cities is my goddamn jam. The Godzilla Pipeworks trilogy was my bread and butter when I was a kid. I probably put at least several hundred hours over countless weekends unlocking monsters, playing every single Kaiju's arcade path, and so on. However, the Kaiju gaming scene has been pretty dry for a couple years, save for a Godzilla game on the PlayStation 4 that runs for, a cool $400 fucking dollars! You can't even get this damn thing digitally. This oof is so big it's the villain of the next Godzilla and Kong movie. Backstory aside, we got not one, but two indie-developed Kaiju games across 2021 and 2022. Dawn of the Monsters by 13 AM Games, and Gigabash by Passion Republic. Dawn of the Monsters gets a special place in my heart because not only was it the first game I ever streamed in its entirety on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/allnightgaming by the way, but we actually have a unique twist on the typical kaiju game. Usually any giant monster game will be an arena fighting game, but this is a beat 'em up, a genre that was absolutely starving for some tokusatsu love. And if you caught my streams, you know this game takes the cake for one of, if not my favorite kaiju game of all time. I could literally make an entire video about this damn game, but to keep it brief, this is a top-tier beat 'em up, with engaging RPG mechanics that let you customize your kaiju's build to suit your playstyle, and you can build insane combos of your build that can make you either a slow, lumbering, unstoppable force of nature, or a lightning-quick glass cannon that relies on lifesteal to fuel your rampage. We currently only have 4 playable characters, but these absolute goats over at 13am just announced a 5th DLC character in the form of a goddamn Megazord coming to the game. Alex, you are my new favorite human being. Just how many copies of Godzilla on VHS are you up to now? On the other side of the coin is Gigabash. Passion Republic decided to stick to their guns on what works when it comes to kaiju games, and ran with it hard. Gigabash is a kaiju arena fighter along the same veins as the Pipeworks Godzilla games, with just a little bit of Power Stone sliced up in there. It's such an absurdly fast game, which is saying something in a genre that usually is marred by slow, lumbering characters. But it's insanely fun and a perfect illustration of why arena brawlers work so well for kaiju games. Gigabash not only has the charm of having unique monster designs like the lava monster Gorogong, or, Concrete? A building kaiju? What sort of gigabrains are working over there? This is absolute genius. But I don't know how they did it, but they snagged 4 Toho monsters as DLC. Godzilla, Gigan, Kiryu, and Destroya! With the possibility of more DLC monsters on the way, and with this coming to Switch and Xbox in the near future, I wouldn't turn a blind eye to this game anytime soon. The big catch has to be one of the most inspired games I'm talking about today, simply because I'm pretty sure a new trend has been started. I want to say Lunatist may be one of the first games to really make this popular, but the low-poly PS1 aesthetic for a 3D platformer is quickly becoming the new pixel art fad from the early 2010s, and I am here for it. While we don't know too much, we have one trailer to go off of and a description of the game on Steam, but truth be told, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're a cartoon rabbit in a dreamlike world, running around using your fishing rod like a grappling hook to zip and zoodah around the environment. That's it. The game is oozing with Spyro inspiration, and I'll sign off on the low-poly platformer for now because it looks so good when applied with modern animation techniques and polished game mechanics. We'll have to wait and see just how this one turns out. In Nintendo's ever-growing list of forgotten franchises, there's the Wario Land games. A grouping of really tight and responsive platformers with fast and snappy dashing mechanics that allow for the even more portly Italian plumber to cause absolute mayhem. And then they forgot about it for over a decade like every other fucking franchise whose only remaining representation is Super fucking Smash Bros. So, what do we do about that? 2 separate developers apparently really wanted their Wario fix, so they both set out to make Wario Land-inspired platformers starring angry portly men. Can relate. Pizza Tower is the first one that's currently out and is certainly more inspired by classic Cartoon Network animation styles and just general insanity. Anton Blast, however, is more arcadey looking with its sprite work and approach to level design. And the developers are unhinged at best on their social media, so even if you don't pick up the game, I highly recommend giving these guys a follow. Seriously, what the hell, guys? The era of cute animal mascot platformer is far from dead, as developers Mega Wobble and Playtonic are refusing to give up on the 3D platformer genre. The name's pretty literal here. You play as a little gator guy going on a little adventure, and you run into all your animal friends and collect the thing. No story spoilers here, but it's actually a very heartfelt tale about just a kid trying to enjoy his summer vacation with his sister. Simple, straightforward, physics-based goodness, and I think that any average Chad Banjo-Kazooie player will love this one. Alright, look, I'm tired of using the Mario 64 sound effect, alright? Just move on to the next one. Woo! Oh, yeah! rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Let me tell you, when combing the YouTube space for interesting speedrunning videos, when my jaw dropped all the way through the floor and into the Earth's crust, when I discovered there was a fully fleshed out Sonic Adventure inspired platformer out there. That wasn't just another fan game. This thing is real. I was hoodwinked, flabbergasted.
We've been speckledorfed.
That's not even a word, and I agree with you.
Spark has 3 fully fleshed out games in his library now. 1 traditional 2D platformer inspired by classic Sonic, and 2 and 3, which are much more heavily inspired by the actual Sonic Adventure games. While I haven't played the first 2, Spark the Electric Jester 3 is a damn good time, and feels beyond satisfying to play. Snappy controls, well-done momentum physics, and more. If you don't want to wait another 4 years to hope that they make Sonic Adventure 3, try Spark the Electric Jester 3 instead. Tavern of Dreams also came out of nowhere for me because I wasn't expecting the PlayStation 1 aesthetic to catch on nearly as quickly as it did. But bam, here we are, with a game that has to be directly inspired by Spyro the Dragon. You play as a little dragon guy who gets more and more abilities to explore, you guessed it, the Tavern of Dreams. The aesthetic of the game is far more abstract than its contemporaries, but I think that adds to its charm. It's coming out whenever the hell it comes out, so I'd consider wishlisting this even if you have looked at a Spyro game and thought it looked neat. And those are just 10 of some indie games that I think you should be checking out right now. Whether they're already out or they're down the road, I'm sure there was something in this list that might pique your interest. Now, it's not to say that indie games are a catch-all in terms of good game design. There can be duds out there. But in an industry that's currently marred by microtransactions and games as a service, indie games feel like the last bastion of traditional game design out there. And that's not to say that all AAA games suck balls either. I just wanted to get this video out there to demonstrate that not all great ideas are dead. Some just haven't been made into an indie game yet. So if you like this video, don't forget to share it with your friends and maybe consider doing a little tippity tap on that like button if you're really feeling it. And if you liked what I had to say today and you want to hear me talk some more, why don't you make sweet, passionate love to that subscribe button? And as always, I'm your host All Night, and don't forget to stay loved, keep loving, and have a wonderful night.